Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Hope everybody is having a good night tonight. I'm ready to get into some charts. Couldn't get into it earlier. Had some things to do with the family, but I'm ready to rock and roll, y'all. We about to get it in. Hope everybody is doing well. Like I said, hey, if you guys have any pairs that you would like to see marked up, please put them in the chat, and I'll be happy to get to them. Go ahead and get to Forex Factory. And we're gonna give everybody a few minutes to get in. Dale, what's going on, man? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. EU, GU, GJ, I got you. I got you. And what I'll do, I'll start off with GJ first. And then EU and GU, those are already a part of our daily situation. So I'll make sure we get at GJ first. Hey, how did any of you guys do last week in trading? Last week, you know, it started off for me. Started off a little shaky, but during the end of the week, the mid and end of the week, I had some really good trades on gold last week. So gold, it actually did me right last week. We're gonna give everybody a few more minutes before we get into it. Let's check social media. Make sure everybody know that we going live. And normally we don't usually go live during the Asian session. I usually like to go live usually when the market is still closed. However, we're gonna get it in. We're gonna make it happen. Let's see, what time is it? Give everybody about one more minute, and then we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I took only one trade last week on Friday, cost 65 pips on EY. Do you mean EU or EG? And you know what's crazy? I think about a week ago, I meant to catch EU. I meant to catch a buy, and my plan was to ride EU from, I think it was 0.98 all the way up to $1. And I actually missed it because I was over there messing around with gold, and I should have set a pending. I should have set a buy stop for that, but I didn't catch it. And so we'll look at that when we look at EU. But I knew for a fact it was going to come up to that area. But overall, USD pairs, they're still bearish. They're still bearish from a high time frame perspective. So we'll take a look at that just to kind of see exactly what's going on. But yeah, let's see. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so y'all know how we do. We always open up with a word of prayer. So let's get into it. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for this day, Lord. We want to thank you for life, health, and strength. Lord, I pray that anybody that's on this call tonight, Lord, I pray that they'll be blessed. I pray that they learn something. I pray that this channel continue to be of value to everyone who engages in it. Lord, I pray that this channel And this resource can help somebody to become financially free, that this may bless them and their families. Lord, we thank you, we love you, and we praise you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, y'all, let's get into it. I'm excited about getting into these charts tonight. In fact, I'm always excited to get in these charts with y'all anyway, and kind of share my perspective. And of course, let's get into it. And so we just try to be patient and do the best we could with this, and that's what we do. So if we're looking at Forex Factory, kind of looking at the news for today, nothing really popping off today. Usually, like I always say, I don't usually take trades on Sunday unless it's something that's really, really overbearingly that may step out or stand out, should I say. Then I'll probably take a trade, but I haven't taken any trades today. So let's go ahead and move on to Monday for tomorrow. So we can see the fireworks is already kind of popping off tomorrow, 7:30 Central Time for USD pairs. We got the Empire State Manufacturing Index. And what we'll do, we'll look last month and kind of see exactly how this impacted the market, just to kind of see what's up. We can see at 9:30 we have an orange folder on CAD. And then 4:45 we have NZD pairs that's probably going to knock off. We got some Australian pairs that's going to pop off at 7:30 p.m. Central. And so we have monetary policy meeting minutes. And so like I always say, AUD also correlates with gold as well. So we might see some action on gold tomorrow night around 7:30. Okay. So let's jump into Tuesday. Tuesday, we can see the market is kind of settled on Tuesday, but we do see USD, they have a little bit of news popping off at 8:15. So we might not see any huge movements in the market, but we still want to be mindful, just because these folders, it indicate, that, there is news, so to speak. So it shouldn't be any huge spikes during the market, but we still want to be mindful of what's going on. If we bump into Wednesday, we can see 1 a.m. Central Time, GBP pairs will probably be moving. And then once we kind of get into the New York session, 7:30 Central, Canadian pairs, we see CAD will definitely be popping off. And I have some predictions for CAD, so we'll definitely look at USD CAD and things like that. Looking later of the day, we got FOMC at 5:30. We got Bullard speaking. We don't normally see that at 5:30. So for me, I know for a fact I probably won't be in any pairs unless I'm in something that's probably 100 pips in profit or something. I'm definitely not going to be in anything around this time. Just because I don't like trading as soon as the market opened. Well, at this particular time, the market would have been open for about an hour and 30 minutes, but still, it's very rare that you see FOMC around this time. So me personally, I don't plan on being in the market around this time. We can see on, what day is this? Wednesday as well. AUD is going to pop off again about 7:30 that night. So be mindful of that. And if we shift off into Thursday, we can see we got the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. I want to go back and look at this and see how this impacted the market last month. But we can see at 7:30, we got USD pairs that's going to be popping off on Thursday. If we move into Friday, we can see we got Canadian pairs that's going to probably move, and we also have GBP pairs that's going to move around 1 a.m. in the morning. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into GJ. All right. Let's see what we got. All right, let's start off. Okay, these are markups that I had marked up a while ago. I think this was 2 weeks ago. We predicted that it was going to come up to the supply zone, and we can see that it actually did. So one of the things that we looked at a few weeks ago, one of the things that I kind of thought that GJ was going to do. Let me make this a little bigger so you guys can see it. I saw a demand zone, a 1 hour demand zone down here. And so I kind of predicted that price will come down to this level. It didn't quite get down here. However, it almost closed this imbalance here. However, this was still a valid trade because it did cross the 50% on our fibs. And then from there, this thing just kind of skyrocketed and just went all the way up. So, you know, if someone caught this, they could have rolled this up to the supply zone, because overall, let's kind of look at the market overall on GJ to kind of see exactly what it was doing. We can remove some of this stuff because these are old markups. Okay. So if we look at GJ from a daily perspective, we can see initially it was bullish. You know, we had higher high, we had a higher low, higher high, and then we got a break of structure in this area, which is pretty much what we, you know, kind of had. And so we anticipated that this was going to be a retest. So this is a break of structure on a daily time frame right here. Let's see, right here on GJ. Okay, so from that we can see price broke structure, then it came all the way up because this is our last valid higher high or whatever. So price still hasn't passed that, so I'm still expecting price to possibly go downward. And so in this area, I definitely would not take a a sell just yet. The reason why I say that is because when you look at this here's a continuation pattern. And from a daily perspective, we have a bullish, bearish, bullish. And so price can still possibly, you know, take out this liquidity here before it goes back down, because this liquidity here is not higher than this higher high. Like I said, I'm still kind of expecting it to go lower because we broke structure to go to the downside. So let's drop it to the 4 hour just to kind of look and see what we're looking at. But right off the bat, hold on, let me go back to the daily for a second. One of the levels that I kind of see that I want to notate is this 168 level, this bank level right here. Because we can see that price is kind of sort of respecting this area. We can see price came up, closed above, but it still dropped back down. Price came up here. We got two, you can see we got two bodies that closed literally right up under here on the daily, came back down. We have a wick that came up here, wick this area here, and still kind of dropped off to the downside. So what price possibly could do is maybe come back up here to this 168, reject, and then go to the downside. So from here, let's go ahead and look at the 4 hour just to kind of see what we're, you know, anything that stands out from the 4 hour perspective. So on a 4 hour time frame, we can see that it's still kind of bullish before it goes down, because from a 4 hour perspective, we can see this thing made a higher high here, possible higher low. It's not confirmed a higher low until this breaks this wick here. So let's drop to a 1 hour time frame, kind of see exactly what we have. Okay, so we can see, because right off the bat I can see this trend here. We can utilize this as a confluence. Okay, so from a 1 hour perspective, this is a complex pullback. So right now we're looking at, this is a higher high, higher low. Not yet, like I was saying. So let's drop to the 15 minute to see if we can see anything from here. Okay, from a 15 minute perspective, we're looking at market structure as such. Higher high, higher low, higher high, and this is possibly a higher low. So one of the things that I want to possibly see for this, I want to see price break this. And so you can see this is kind of turning into like a triangle flag pattern type situation. I want to see price break this higher high here. And I'm going to tell you why. Let's put an alert here. GJ breaks higher high. We'll say 1 hour higher high. Leron, what's going on, man? So check it out. So I want price to actually break this point here. The reason being is because if it breaks this point, then that will confirm this is our last higher low. Because right now, this is our last higher low here. I don't necessarily want price to break all the way down here before we actually confirm that it's going into a downtrend. Okay, because if we look at the pips from this area down to here, it's almost 200 something pips. So we don't necessarily want to wait that long. So for me, I would definitely like to see, let me get this out of here. I would definitely like to see price break this higher high to confirm this is our last higher low. And then if price decides to come down here and break it and retest, that's fine. However, I do want to see it break this. Let's drop to a 5-minute time frame just to kind of look at market structure. So from a 5-minute perspective, you know, we can kind of get a glance into what it's actually doing prior to when it gets there. So a couple of things I can see on this 5-minute. Let's just look at where the market kind of traveled to. So we got, let's just say this is a higher high, higher low. No. Let's make this a little bigger. Okay, the market was pretty much consolidating in this area here. And then we can see that price started to trickle down. We had like a little slight break of structure here that broke this point here. Price gave us a retest. And then price started to trickle up in this fashion here. Okay, so from a 5-minute perspective, right now, if price breaks these areas here, price can give us some symbols or can maybe give us some clues that it wants to turn around. However, because it's so much consolidation and it's a lot of noise is going on, for me, like I said, a couple of things that I want to see. I want to see price breaks this higher high, and then from there, possibly come down. And if it breaks this trend right here, if GJ breaks this trend, we can get a retest, which will possibly be that 5-minute break of structure. We can get a retest and then possibly drive this one down and possibly ride this to the downside. Because one of the things that I kind of see a prediction as to where this possibly can go. Let's go to the daily time frame. Because we see this thing broke structure. So we threw our fibs on this. We can see that this is almost at 100% on the fibs. It's still valid. And if we were to take an entry on this and we catch the break of structure in a retest, we literally can ride it down to this liquidity point here. We have a couple TPs that we can ride this down to. First potential target can be right here, which is 160. Target 160. Okay. Target 2 could be around this area. I would say around 152.5. target 3 can be liquidity down here, which is right around 149. So those are potential targets there, but before it gets there, like I said, I definitely would like to see, GJ break this high here, possibly give us a higher low or something here, and then break structure up in this area. Or if it don't break this, I would like to see it break this trend line, give us a retest on the 1 hour, give us a retest possibly on the 1 hour. Or if we see a break of structure of some sort on a smaller time frame, like the 15-minute or something like that, I would do something like that. But first things first, I definitely want to see it break this here. If it break this here, then from there we can start looking to say, okay, now let's look for a pullback, or it might come up here and wick this 168 before it goes back down. However, if it breaks this area here, if it breaks this higher high here on the daily, that thing is still going up. It's out of there. However, like I said, I want to see it come up in this area, do a few things, and then possibly go down and we can tap one of these targets. Because either one of these targets are, either one is Pipsville. If we took it from here down to here, that's about 700 pips. This is 1400 pips. And this one down here is about 1700 pips. So GJ has some massive opportunity that we can definitely catch. We just have to wait for the move. We have to be patient. We don't want to just jump in this thing and, kind of anticipate the move before it comes. Because like I said, right now, this hasn't closed yet, but on daily, we're getting a continuation pattern to show that this thing still wants to go up. So we definitely want to be patient. All right. I hope that helps. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and move over to GU. So if we're looking at GU, we can see GU is bearish. Okay, we can see here are my daily marks here. This is my last lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This here is a pullback in this area. And for me, my daily target will probably be the $1 mark for GU. And I'll show you guys why I say that. So from here, let's just say I took this last lower high here and threw my fibs on here. As you guys can see, EU came up to our golden zone, wick right past the 78.6. Okay. Wick right past the 78.6. This entire area here is our golden zone. Okay. So all up in this area is well within our range for us to actually look for retracements. But one thing that you want to see, or that we can see in this area, is we're possibly getting a double top on the daily. We're possibly getting this information. So here's our neckline right here for our double top. Okay. So this is our neckline right here. So one of the things that I would like to see is for it to break this area, retest, and then continue to the downside. However, we can possibly catch a few moves in the interim. So let's go ahead and drop to some smaller time frames to kind of look at structure. Okay. So one of the things that we can see with this from a 4-hour perspective, we can see price coming up, giving us this is a complex pullback. So from a 4-hour perspective, we got higher high, higher low. Well, not higher low just yet because it didn't break this area. So we can see that this is our pullback here. If it breaks this, then I might be looking at price to kind of continue in the other direction. However, this is what we see on the 4-hour. Let's drop to the 1 hour and kind of look at structure. Okay. So from a 1 hour perspective, we have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And then we had a break of structure in this area right here. Okay. This is a 1 hour break of structure. Let's make this bigger so you guys can see it. What's up, Rome? I got you. So we got a 1 hour break of structure in this area right here. So from a 1 hour perspective, we throw our fibs on there. For right now, let me remove the daily golden zone. So from a 1 hour perspective, we're looking for a pullback, somewhere in this area right here that can possibly go back up. So right now, from a 1 hour perspective, we're looking like we're bullish. Okay, you can see that it wicked this 50% just slightly, but we'll see what it do. We'll see exactly what it do. I don't know if it want to continue up to this area or if it want to come down. But in this particular instance, because I see a potential double top on a daily, I definitely would like to be patient with GU. I don't necessarily want to jump the gun for this, because if this thing breaks this neckline here, then I'm looking for sales. I'm gonna be looking for sales for this. Let's look on the 15 minute and see if we see anything that maybe stands out. Okay. So on a 15 minute perspective, yeah, we're still bullish as well from a 15 minute, because on a 15 minute, we had this higher high, higher low, higher high. This here never broke this. So we're still bullish right now. So we want to be patient and see exactly what the market is going to give us. So for me, I'm going to probably wait for this neckline to be broken. Once this neckline is broken here, then I'll probably be looking for sales. Or one thing we can look for, if we get a break of structure here on a 15 minute, if we get a break of structure on a 15 minute here, we basically want to look for a retest somewhere in the golden zone from this 15 minute break of structure, and then we can ride this thing down and possibly catch it before the neckline. But before any of that happens, I would like to see exactly what it's going to do. But just to be safe, you guys, I'm going to wait for the neckline. I don't want to jump the gun on this or anything like that. I want to definitely be patient, because patience equals profits. If we wait for this neckline to break and we get a retest, for me, like I said, my target is the $1 mark. We can possibly do this liquidity here, which is about 600 pips. But for me, my ultimate target is going to be down here, which is almost 1,000 pips. And so, yeah, I definitely want to wait for that neckline break just to see exactly what the market is going to give us. And so, yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll wait for that. And what I'll do, you guys, I'll also make sure that these alerts are in our, Discord. So I'll go back and mark these alerts up. That way we make sure that we got those. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to EU. And if you guys have any questions on any of the markups or any of the pairs that we went over, just go ahead and let me know, and I'll go back and address it and talk about it. And we want to make sure that everybody can understand what it is that we're going over. All right, you guys, let's look at EU. This pair I already kind of sort of had marked up. And so let's kind of remove a few things. That way we can look at it. All right. So you guys, with EU, we can see that EU is bearish. Just like any other USD pair that's in a denominator is bearish. As you can see, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Pretty much almost similar to GU. We can see that it came back for a pullback, and it's definitely within the golden zone. So if we throw our fibs on here, we can see all in this area was prime real estate for our pullback. This is our golden zone right here. And we can see that it wicked past the 61.8, and it came right here to this dollar mark. So one of the things that when I was looking at this last week, a few weeks ago, no, you know what? I thought it was 0.98,000 where I wanted to kind of take my trade, but it was actually 97. So right in this area, I was looking at this because you can see if we go back, there was a break of structure that I was hawking, but I think I was trading gold at the time and I missed it. So if we look at this on EU, we had this lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and a break of structure. It gave us a nice retest, which kind of closed this imbalance here. And then from there, this thing literally just took off. It took off. It never got quite down to this demand zone here, but this thing went all the way up to the dollar mark. And if we could have caught something in this area, you know, that was 300 something pips that we could have caught. But there's still opportunity. There's always an opportunity. So if we look at the opportunities that we have right now, let's look at them. So like I said, EU is still overall bearish. And so currently right now, if we drop to the 1 hour, we can see, let's look at some of the moves. Lower high, lower low. I'm gonna say lower high, lower low, lower high. And then from here, we got a break of structure. Now this market structure is not clean. It's a lot of consolidation in here, but it's still giving the moves that we're looking for. So this here is a 1 hour break of structure. So it might give us a pullback. Let's see. Drop to the 30. We have a demand zone in this area right here. And so price can possibly come back, wick into this demand zone, and possibly come up a little bit further. We don't know. If it breaks this demand zone here, then I'm gonna be looking for price to continue down to this demand zone here, maybe come up and do a few things. But like I said, ultimately I'm looking for sales because it's bearish. But on the 1 hour time frame, we did break structure and it's giving us a retest. And so if we look at our fibs, I'm pretty sure currently right now, yeah, we're already in prime real estate for our pullback. And so it already wicked the 50%. It didn't quite get down to this demand zone, which I kind of think it will. And it possibly come up to this area and then maybe continue back down. We don't know. But like I said, it's Sunday, so the market is kind of getting back into its rhythm, kind of getting its feet. You know, it's faking some people out. That's not patient, things like that. So we definitely want to be patient just to kind of see exactly what the market wants to do. Okay. So with EU, I don't want to necessarily anticipate anything currently right now. If it comes down to this demand zone, we can set an alert here. If it wicks this demand zone, we can kind of take a look to see exactly what it's going to do. But I kind of sort of want to, like I said, I want to be a little bit patient on this to see exactly where it's going to go. Because as you can see, we had a lot of consolidation in this area right here. And then price right now is playing right in between this 96.5 and this 98,000 area. So price is just bumping in between these two areas, in between these two zones. So I want to kind of be patient until it kind of get out of the Raptors up in here before we even consider even taking anything on EU. Okay, because when we look at this, we can just look at this whole area as a whole consolidation in this area right here. All of this right here, it's a huge consolidation. However, you know, it's kind of playing in between these areas, and I just want to be patient. I don't want to jump the gun on any of this type of thing. And so I don't want to give, like, you know, and say it's going to go one way or another. I want to kind of just be patient and kind of see exactly what it's going to do. Let it kind of break out of this consolidation. And then from there, we can kind of, you know, look at the market and kind of make adjustments to what it's going to give us. All right. All right, you guys, let's look at USD CAD. USD CAD is actually turning out to be one of my favorite pairs. Now let's take a look at this. We'll start off on a weekly time frame with this one. And I've been stalking this pair for quite some time. So if we look at this pair, let me make this bigger a little bit. If we look at this pair on USD CAD, we can see up in this area, we had a weekly supply zone up in here. And we also had a daily imbalance. And we can see, if we look at this thing, from this daily imbalance, we can see price wick this imbalance and then it dropped off. However, one of the things we want to be mindful of, because USD CAD is still highly bullish. We can see from a weekly perspective, we have a bullish, bearish, bullish, like I said, which is a continuation pattern. And right now, what price is doing is retesting pretty much almost the 50% of this candle here. So if we look at this on a weekly perspective, let's just say if we did a Fibonacci tool on this candle here, we can see that price is in this range right now. It's pretty much retesting this order block. Because if we look at this, like if we mark this order block up, this pretty much is a massive demand zone, just like this. Of course, we're not going to mark that and kind of have that in here like that. But when you look at it, it's pretty much testing this order block or this demand zone before it continues to go up. So now let's drop to a daily. So from a daily perspective, we have higher high, higher low, higher high, possibly giving us not a higher low just yet, but you know, price is kind of doing its thing. Okay, not gonna say that this is a higher low because this is all still within the range of this candle here. It has to break this candle in order for it to come down here and create a higher low or something like that. However, I think it might actually get down there. I think price possibly may come down to this area here and then maybe continue up, because like I said, from a weekly perspective, we're doing that continuation order block pattern, that bullish, bearish, bullish. Okay, so now let's drop to the 4 hour just to kind of look at price and kind of see exactly what it's going to do. Now, one of the things that I noticed when I was looking at this pair last week is you notice that I have these two key levels here. There's 1.38300 and there's 1.37600. And the reason I have that is because if you look at this, you have price, which is bouncing right in between these areas. Look at all this rejection, 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 rejection. Even down to this area, you see price come up, reject, reject, breakthrough, come down, don't necessarily close, come back up, test this area again, break through, come back up, test, and it's just playing in between these areas. Okay, so now we see that it's broken this area and it's retesting this area here. Okay, so now possibly what we could do We can drop to a smaller time frame to see if we have a break of structure somewhere smaller on this area here to possibly ride it back up, because this is right now it's acting as support. So this possibly can be a barrier before price comes back up. This can be the retest area. So let's go here and look and see exactly what's going on. One of the things that we could see is that we're getting a bearish, bullish, bearish. So we definitely don't want to hop into it as of yet. So on the 15 minute, this is a continuation pattern that's letting us know it possibly might break through this level. Okay, so let's drop down to the 5 minute to kind of see exactly what we can see, if we see any market structure. From a 5 minute perspective, it's still a little choppy. Let's drop down to the 1 minute. Okay, so if we're looking at the 1 minute on this, you guys, we can see lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and lower low. But we can also see that price is breaking this lower low. So possibly this is our lower high, and we can see that it's breaking through right now. Okay, so one of the things that we possibly can do if we wanted to ride this down, as we can see, it's breaking through at this point. So what we could do is say, okay, I can see that this is breaking through for a lower low. And if we wanted to continue with what it's actually doing, we can say, all right, we see price didn't necessarily pull back to this 50% area here. So let's come back down to the next one. Let's come here. Let's see if price can pull back somewhere within this area and possibly drop down, which we can possibly ride this, like I said, maybe down to this key level here, you know, but we want to be patient with this though, because like I said, from a weekly perspective, we're looking at a bullish, bearish, bullish, but we can see currently right now, the current market is a little bearish. From a 15-minute perspective, we're breaking through with a bearish, bullish, bearish. The supply zone here. We got a supply zone right here. Now, one of the things that we probably will see when this candle closes, we'll possibly see a retest of this zone and then kind of come back down like so. So this possibly could be a nice little entry that we can ride price possibly down. But we want to wait for this candle to close. This is the 15-minute candle, and it's actually, we got about 30 some seconds left. So we possibly can, and you guys never know, we possibly can catch this live. But let's kind of wait and see what it's gonna do. We got about 20 some seconds left. And let's see. Let's be patient and check it out. Because what we possibly can do, if this give us a pullback, let's measure this entire candle right here. So we want to see it possibly pull back into the supply zone here, and then we can catch it from the downside. Now, when we trading this type of thing, what I like to do is use my split screen. And so from this side, I'll look at my 15-minute over here, but I'll look at my 1 minute on the right for my entries. And so we want to be patient. We can see that price is taking off to the downside, but like I said, we don't necessarily want to jump the gun on this, because we want to be patient and make sure that we're looking at this thing objectively and we don't rush. Let's throw our fibs on this candle here. So I want to see price pull back somewhere within this area here. If we can get a pullback in this area here, at least 50%, we can possibly catch an entry right here. Stop loss above this wick here, which is about 7 pips for a stop loss. And we can possibly ride this thing down. Let's see what we can ride this to. Hold on 1 second. Because I don't necessarily want to ride it all the way down to this area, which we possibly could. Let's see though. Because we got a lot of unhealthy price action where we can ride it to though. For me, kind of uncertain where I want to ride this to. About 68 pips. So yeah, I'll probably say ride it down to this 1.37600 area. So this is a 1 to 9. This is a 1 to 9.6 risk reward that we possibly can catch this with a 7 pip stop loss. So let's look at this thing. Let's see if it'll give us a pullback. Because if it give us a pullback up to this area, I'll be willing to take this right here live with you guys. But I must definitely put a disclaimer out there to make sure you guys use proper risk management. Let's see exactly what it's going to do if it's going to give us a pullback. Go ahead and do our split screen. We have our 15 minute on this side. We have our 1 minute on this side for our entries. That way we can see exactly what's going on. Let me change the color of this. Make that black. Make this green. There we go. Second. Okay. Yeah, that looks about right. Here. Oops. Yeah, that's our supply zone right there. We'll see what this do, you guys. Like I said, we definitely always want to be patient with these things. I'm looking at this. Hold on 1 second. Where is this at? I don't look like it's lined up right. Yeah, it's lined up. This looks so weird to me because, man, this looks weird. Where's this one at? Oh, that's why it look weird. This one is not lined up right. 300. Okay. I knew that looked weird. Okay. Okay, what I'll do, you guys, I'll set an alert somewhere in this area here just to see if it gets up there, and then we'll go look at another pair. That way, if it gets up to that area, we'll know that it's giving us a pullback or it's retesting that area. USD CAD approaching golden zone. Okay. If you get up to that area, then we'll know. Let's see, it's kind of pulling back now. But if you get up there, hit that alert. We'll come back and check it out and see exactly what's going on. But like I said, we definitely want to be patient. You know, we're not going to rush or jump the gun or anything until it gives us what we want to see. 1 second, you guys. What the heck is going on with my mouse? Okay, let's go look at some other pairs right quick. And so it looked like it's coming on up there, but we'll be patient, wait till it get up there. I see we had a request for Go Euro. Say you are. And then right after this one, you guys will look at gold. Okay. But if we get that alert on USD CAD, we're gonna go back and we're gonna check that out. Cause like I said, we might actually take that one live. You know, we can catch some pips on that tonight, actually. All right, you guys. So if we're looking at Go Euro, let's look at it overall. Let's kind of see what it's doing. Hold on, you guys. Let's go look at that USD CAD again. We'll come right back to that Go Euro. All right, we want to see this on the 15-minute over here. See, it wicked. It definitely wicked the supply zone. So it might be out of there. As you can see right here, it would definitely wick that supply zone. Let's see if it'll come back up a little bit further. If it'll come back up to this area here, then I might take it. It didn't quite get 50% though. And so for me, 50%, that's what I have in my trading plan. And so a lot of times I don't like to deviate from it. I'm not the type that chase trades. So I can see that it actually with the supply zone, but like I said, it didn't go at 50%. And so, you know, I've grown to be extremely patient. And if it don't actually follow my rules, I won't chase it, because there's always another trade for another day. You know, some people, you know, and you know, it's to each his own. You know, some people would have actually took this here and they saw this exhaustion and they would have took it. And so, you know, they could be right, you know, but for me, like I said, if it don't get up here to this area, then I'm not gonna do it. If it don't wick 50%, I won't do it. And let me change the color of this supply zone because it can be confusing. I'll change it to gray. And then we can see that my golden zone that I'm waiting for this thing to come up to is right around this area here. So if it comes up to this area here, then I'll be willing to take it. But we gotta see. And what I'll probably do, you guys, I'm gonna probably set a sell limit. I'll set a sell limit right here for this area. Because like I said, this is really good risk management. It's only 7 pips. So I'm actually gonna take a sell limit on this. So we're gonna take a live sell limit on USD CAD. And I'll do this so you guys can see the parameters. $1.38279 is the entry. 1.38279. Stop loss 1.38349. And my TP is going to be 1.37600. Alright, so I set it in there. I set my sell limit in there. If price comes up to this area, and if for those who didn't see it, I hope you guys can see this. So this is the sell limit that I set. And like I say, if it don't get up here, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'll worry about another trade for another day. But this is the sell limit that I have here, 1.38279. And I'm gonna ride it down to 1.37600. And so, yeah, that's what I got. And so, let me set a couple alerts on this thing. I'm gonna set an alert if it breaks this wick here. I'll call this a short-term high. USD CAD breaks short-term high. Then right here, I'm gonna call this one a short-term low. That way, if it breaks this short-term low before it gets up to my entry, then I know for a fact that we probably won't catch it. But right now, looking like it might get up to our entry. Let's see if you're gonna get up there. All right, so we'll see what it do, y'all. All right, look like it got really close. Okay, let's see if it's gonna get up there. It's going. Set my short-term high back up here. There we go. All right. I think that wicked us in, y'all. Let's see. Yep, it wicked me in. Yep, it got me up in that thing. All right, let's see what it's gonna do. All right, we in it. All right, cool. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and continue. Like I said, I think that it possibly would come down here. So it's a really, really good entry. It already just put us right in profit. So we'll see what it do. When it passed this short-term low here, I'll actually move my stop loss right above this area here. That way it's a risk-free trade. Because it's on a Sunday, I want to be aggressive with my stop losses like that. Because like I said, I don't usually trade on Sundays, but this one here was almost like picture perfect. So we'll see what it do. Like I said, if it break this short-term low, I'll put my stop loss right above this wick right here, and then we'll be able to go to sleep knowing that we're in a risk-free trade. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at gold euro, XAU EUR. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and end it with gold. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and check this out. So if we're looking at this thing, gold euro, we can see overall from a daily perspective. Let's clear off everything on here. Lower high, lower low, lower high. Okay, still bearish. This is not confirmed as a lower high yet until this is broken. So let's go ahead and look at the 4-hour time frame just to kind of see what the market is doing from that perspective. See if we can trade the 4-hour. Okay, so now from a 4-hour perspective, we have lower low, lower high, lower low. We have a break of structure in this area. No, I'm sorry. No, we don't. Uh-oh. This will be our break of structure point right here. For our BOS here, we can see currently right now we're getting a pullback right here, and we're well within our golden zone on euro gold, on gold euro, I'm sorry, right in this area right here. Okay, so with that, a couple of confluences that I can see right off the bat. We can see that we have a supply zone right here, I'm sorry, a demand zone in this area right here, and we also have this huge imbalance right here as well, right at the top of this demand zone. It's a 4-hour. Imbalance right here. Okay. So now one of the things that we want to see is, let's see if price will come down to this area right here, because we can see currently price already has broken this short-term low. Let's mark these. We can see price has broken this short-term low right here. It's broken this short-term low right here. And we can see right now is resting right on this short-term low. Okay. Broken this short-term low right here as well. It's resting right in this area right here. Okay. So we can actually remove these and see that price is resting right here. So we can see that there's some supply, some demand zone up in this area right here that's respected, because we can see price wicked, took off, came back, hit this zone again, took off, came back to this area again, and now we're resting in this area. So I'm thinking that it might wants to break through this area and break this short-term low as well. And if it does, I'll be looking for price to kind of come down to this area here. However, let's go ahead and look at the 1 hour just to kind of see exactly what price is doing. And we can see from a 1 hour perspective, we're getting lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so we can actually ride the momentum of this. Oh crap, I wasn't trying to do that. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So from here, we can actually ride this momentum. This is our structure right here from a 1 hour perspective. And so on this 1 hour time frame, we can wait for price to actually come back up into this area here. We can wait for price to come into this area here and then possibly ride it down to this negative 27, or we can ride it down to this demand zone in this area here. But those are some of the immediate things that I see. So if we do catch this move, because this is this is really good market structure right here. So what we can do is we can wait until it gets to this area here. We can set an alert right here at this 1698 area. $16.98. Go euro approaching golden zone. And if it gets up to this area to 1698, we can look for a sell possibly down to the downside. And so a couple of things that I see, like let's drop to the 30-minute. Here is a bearish, bullish, bearish supply zone right here. Right here by the 61.8. And so we can let price come up to this area, bounce off of this, and then possibly catch it to the downside. If it comes into this area, I would drop to the 1 minute just to see if it'll give us a break of structure on a 1 minute retest. And then from there, what you could do is, like, if it came up to this area and it gave you that right above this wick here, you can ride this down to the negative 27 right here. That's about 185 pips that you can ride it down to this area. But I'll be patient, let it come up in this area, and then give you your break of structure on the 1 hour. Not the 1 hour, I'm sorry. On the 1 minute to go to the downside. Let it give you that break of structure retest, and then you can ride it down to the downside. You can ride it to this negative 27, or you can ride it all the way down to the supply zone. But what I would do for this, I would just keep in confluence with the fibs and ride it down to the negative 27. Hey Rome, I hope that helps, man. But right now on the 1 hour, it's showing really good market structure. So I would literally just wait for the retest right up into this golden zone, and then you can ride it down. All right. All right, you guys, let's look at gold. Let's look at gold, my absolute favorite pair. All right. So I have a pending order set for gold, but I want to show you guys exactly what gold is doing right now. So gold is extremely bearish right now. And my overall prediction for gold is that it'll possibly get down to maybe like the 1560 area. And I know that's really, really low. However, when you look at this, check this out, you guys. If we take a fib from the top of this area here all the way down here. Oh, I already got it on there. Sorry. we can see that gold has come up to this golden area here and it started to trickle down. But look what happened. When it came up to the supply zone, right into the golden zone, it gave us a 4-hour double top right up in this area right here. And I actually caught this, and I believe I rode this down to like 16.95 before I hopped out. But it gave a double top right here, letting us know, okay, this thing wants to drop. And yeah, this thing took off. It took off. And so right now, it's playing around this 1650 area. There was another, let me see. I think I put this one in our chat. There was a Head and Shoulders. Yeah, here it is right here. And I said, hey, we needed to be patient with this. It was a Head and Shoulders on this. I think I put this in our chat last week. This was a shoulder. This was the head. And I believe it was a shoulder here. However, it came up a little bit higher. It still didn't pass our head. And so as you can see, I said, let's wait for the neckline before we actually take this. This is the neckline right here. And so with this particular trade, I had a sell stop right up under these wicks here. And so, you know, this was news that happened on last week. I think this was Thursday. Yeah, this was Thursday. The Thursday morning 7:30 candle. And so if you guys would have put a sell stop or something here, right up under that area, if you caught this, you could have rolled this down about 160 pips or so. And so as you can see, this thing came back and then it trickled down again. However, now, one of the things I was waiting for is for gold to kind of come up and retest 1650. And now I think it's going to come down, because one of the things I did, like immediately, I think my target is going to be 1632, or it might get to a little lower. But I have an accumulation that I see on this particular pair on gold. And it's set up, actually, it's set up perfectly. I have 3 drives down, 2 drives up. And so with this, I have unhealthy price action in this area. I have my SC, which is perfectly aligned with trading range alignment on this bullish, bearish, bullish. And so I have my stop loss right up under price action here. So what I want to see price get down to this area, wick me in, and then I can ride this up for about a good 171 pips. And so my target for this is right at this action right here. Okay. So for those who would like to take this trade, and like I said, I always want people to adhere to the disclaimer. For those who would like to take this trade, here are the parameters here. And so I'm predicting 1627.06. My target or my profit is going to be 1644.19, and my stop loss is going to be 1624.34. So like I said, please adhere to the disclaimers, and take this at your own risk. Make sure you're using proper risk management when you're taking this, okay? But for this, I definitely think price will get down here, and I think price is going to get even lower once it come down to this area, maybe come back up. But I think price is going to get down to the 1560s or something like that before it actually give us a massive haul going back up. Okay. So just be mindful of gold, you guys, and that's some of the things that I think gold might do. I think it definitely might give us a lot of pips. I want to be patient on this though, and so I don't want to jump the gun. But I do have that pending order set, and so yeah, we're just gonna be patient and wait for it. Hey you guys, like I said, I hope this has been informative for you guys. And I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. And hey, I want to thank you guys for rocking with us tonight. And like as always, if you guys need anything, please hit me up in the chat, and I'll see you guys later on within the market. All right, I'm out.